Compel the mind autonomous. It is a Tuesday morning in a regional hospital. A director of care operations does something entirely reasonable to fix a workflow problem. She opens Microsoft 365 Copilot and builds an internal agent to answer questions about discharge workflows and payer exceptions. Once it is built, she shares it with a handful of managers. The agent works beautifully. It knows the internal playbooks, finds the right documents, and saves the team hours of manual searching, all while operating entirely within the trusted Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Success creates demand. By Friday, another department wants access. The following week, a manager uploads a few local spreadsheets to make the agent even smarter. Then the IT security team discovers the deployment and asks a question that halts the momentum. Was this built in Copilot Studio Lite or full? In a large enterprise, the most dangerous technology is rarely a rogue system built in secret. It is a highly useful tool built in plain sight, inside a trusted platform, with just enough governance to feel perfectly safe. Let's clear up the naming confusion. What most people casually call Lite is actually the agent builder experience located directly inside Microsoft 365 Copilot. This diagram shows the intended lifecycle for Lite. Microsoft positions Agent Builder for lightweight question and answering over organizational knowledge, prioritizing fast creation by individuals or a small team. What people call full is the broader, standalone Microsoft Copilot Studio platform. Copilot Studio is designed for department-wide rollouts, multi-step workflows, custom integrations, and centralized lifecycle management. Microsoft built these architectures to connect. An agent created in Lite can be directly copied into full when its scale demands stricter control. Choosing between Lite and full dictates your data reality. It determines whether your security team inherits a manageable risk or a sprawling, ungoverned mess attached to a cheerful icon. Agent Builder operates as a serious enterprise tool. It resides securely inside the Microsoft 365 trust boundary and strictly respects a user's existing permissions to access data. Prompts and Microsoft Graph data accessed by Lite are explicitly not used to train foundation models. Microsoft Graph is the gateway to data and intelligence in Microsoft 365. Foundation models are the massive, pre-trained AI algorithms that power Copilot's core reasoning and language capabilities. For many internal tasks, this environment is powerful and safe. An HR department can build an onboarding helper, or a finance team can create a policy FAQ that points strictly to approved documents. This creates a psychological trap. Because the agent respects existing file permissions, teams falsely assume their governance problem is fully solved. This diagram illustrates the reality of Agent Builder. It shifts your security burden downstream to the exact state of your SharePoint site structure. If underlying file permissions are overly broad, the AI exposes that sloppiness, readily surfacing sensitive documents users technically can access but shouldn't. In the Lite environment, your data estate serves as the only real security boundary you have. Agent Builder utilizes a direct sharing model. It allows seamless peer-to-peer distribution of an agent to up to 98 named users or specific security groups. The sharing rules contain a hidden flaw. When an IT admin restricts org-wide sharing, those restrictions apply only to new actions. They do not retroactively revoke yesterday's sharing decisions. This creates an ownerless governance gap. Access remains open until a human being physically notices the error and manually fixes the permissions. The risk profile escalates drastically when users start uploading local files directly into a Lite agent to improve its answers. This schematic details the core vulnerability. Embedded files entirely bypass Microsoft Purview information barriers. Purview information barriers are compliance policies designed to prevent specific groups of users from communicating or sharing data with each other to avoid conflicts of interest. For regulated entities, the stakes are immediate. Anyone accessing the agent can see the knowledge grounded in those embedded files, risking the exposure of patient health information or matter-specific legal product. Treating casually uploaded local spreadsheets as equivalent to your governed enterprise content is a fast track to a compliance breach. Copilot Studio Full is the required control plane when an agent transitions from a personal helper to an operational system. Full utilizes managed environments. This shifts administrative control out of the standard Microsoft 365 Admin Center and into the Power Platform Admin Center. This matrix details Full's governance levers. Admins govern specific editor and viewer assignments, mandating sharing with individuals over sweeping security groups. IT admins also gain centralized oversight through the agent registry, inspecting metadata, reassigning ownership, or blocking published agents entirely. Full is not magic. It introduces deployment friction, requiring your team to manage administrative overhead and formal lifecycle processes. While Full requires more effort to deploy, it transforms a sprawling, unmonitored risk into a governable enterprise asset. This decision matrix determines when an agent must be promoted from light to full. Stay in light for small teams using pre-governed, low-risk content without embedded files. Move to mandatory full if agents influence decisions, cross privilege boundaries, or use local embedded data. Banning the light experience outright is counterproductive. Blanket bans simply drive employee experimentation into darker, ungoverned corners of shadow IT. Instead, establish a clear, process-driven graduation threshold based directly on your audience size and data sensitivity. Light helps your team build useful things quickly. Full helps your organization govern those things once they become too important to fail. The true mistake is forgetting to graduate.
Pseudospore energetic. Compel the mind autonomous.